Jackie Congedo joins us live now with a check of traffic.
Well, Nancy, you can take a look behind me. Traffic on New Circle Road right now flowing just fine. But what we want to draw your attention to is what is coming out of the sky right now. As Bill was mentioning, that's that freezing drizzle. I think you can see it best here. We pulled the ice shell off of the mirror of our news car, and you can see it kind of glistening just slightly there. That's enough to cause a lot of these roadways to get very slick. Road crews are still on their 12-hour shifts. They're doing everything they can. But tonight they are asking you to be accountable for your own safety as well, and that means taking things slow and steady. We continue tonight's LEX 18 Big Story at 11. It looks pretty, but on the roads, it's pretty dangerous.
Since the temperatures have dropped and the sun's not out, it's just freezing a lot faster.
And slick roads are a lot harder to handle the bigger your rig.
It gets a little bit nerve-wracking.
Even Anthony Olette, a truck driver from Michigan, says the trip through the bluegrass has been tricky, but he's determined to get his passengers visiting from China all the way to Florida.
Just before we got into Lexington, I noticed that the left lane was starting to get pretty icy, so obviously I had to stay further to the right.
The problem started before the sun was out of the sky. On New Circle Road, the tiniest patch of ice formed in the shade from water dripping off the Alumni Overpass caused big problems.
I hit the ice under the overpass and just lost control of the car, and then it came down here and flipped over.
The guardrails had already been torn down by a truck that had the same accident just a half hour earlier.
I just didn't want to come over into oncoming traffic.
The impact was enough to split Jessica McLeod's empty car seat in the back, and almost simultaneously half a dozen other cars went spinning off the road as well.
In these conditions, you can get lulled into a sense of security, or false sense of security there with the roads are just wet or the roads are clear, and then you hit one of these bridges, and when you hit that sheet of ice, it's really hard to maintain control of your vehicle. You're almost assured of going off the roadway.
That isn't in Anthony's plans. Instead, a stellar forecast.
70s actually down in Florida, so down in Orlando.
That'll require a slow and steady attitude to reach.
So I'll have to take it a little bit slower as we go.
Another thing we want to draw your attention to tonight is some slickness in a lot of the parking lots around town. You can see where I'm standing here, this blacktop. It looks like water, but it is definitely ice here. We had a little bit of trouble stopping our news vehicle, actually, as we were at dinner in one of the parking lots in the Hamburg area. So you just want to be careful even if you're going somewhere to stop for a while as well. We are covering the news live in Lexington from the LEX 18 mobile newsroom. Now send it back to you.